welcome back to the beauty related side of my channel. Today we're going to be talking about when it comes to my channel and when it comes to products and things that I use and things that I love. I do try fairly hard not to overly emphasize or super strongly advocate for very pricey things. Makeup, even at the drugstore, is a luxury item. It is not a inexpensive. I mean, even when you're talking like just, a $10 this or a $5 that tends to add up, especially when you take into consideration that the majority of the makeup marketed to us is going to have that higher price point. People are shopping Sephora. I love Ulta because it does have that divide between high-end and drugstore. And I also try not to, heavily emphasize those expensive products, because one thing that we've learned on this channel is that price point does not necessarily denote quality. We've had quite a few instances where I've spent a butt ton of money on something and the quality's been, Natasha Denona $129 palettes wasn't necessarily living up to that high luxury price point. And then we've had drugstore products that are like $15, $10, $5 that are absolutely amazing. A lot of times we are purchasing the brand. This is the way that it is with a majority of consumable products, clothing, makeup. But today I thought I would actually go through some of my more expensive bougie products that I feel are products that are actually worth the investment. Items that I have spent and do spend a fair amount of money on, but are things that I advocate for, that if this is in your price point, I would definitely recommend purchasing them, because in the long run, they have truly been worth it to me. I always like to preference this. This is my opinions. These are things that work for me. It is, makeup, whatever. It's not a linear. It's different for everyone. You have different expectations. I have different expectations. How I do my makeup is different from other people. It is exceptionally relative, and no two experiences, I feel, are completely the same. But let's go in and actually talk about these bougie expensive things that are makeup products that I have spent a lot of money on, that I actually think are worth every single penny. And for any of y'all who know me, and for any of y'all who have been on my channel for a fairly extended period of time, you probably know what is coming up here. This is one of the most expensive products I have in my collection. And to me, it has paid itself 100 times forward. I've gotten my money's worth out of it, and then some. Excuse me, burp squad. But that would have to be my Viseart Grand Pro, I believe, 3 and 1, the original. The first one I bought was, for obvious reasons, as you will see here in just a moment, is because of the gloriousness of this color spectrum. I cannot remember when it was released or anything like that, but I remember seeing it on some sort of probably trend mood and being all like, heavy breathing intensifies looking at this ish. I adore Viseart. Viseart is one formula. At least their mattes, their shimmers are really good, but I am a matte person, so I like to talk extensively about the mattes. It is a formula that is worth every single penny. I don't even think I got this on sale. I might have had a gift card or something, but I talked to you all. There was a moment where I was like, I'm kind of thinking about it. It might have been a VIB, I don't know. I went in on this and I have absolutely no regrets about it. If for nothing other than the reds and the greens, every single bit of this. The only one is that one. It's kind of pasty. This one's a bit deeper. It's getting washed out on camera. But all in all, pound for pound, this is one of my absolute favorite end-all be-all palettes. If you are a matte lover, if you are someone who loves color, I feel like this is a pricey must. I would put this over a wide variety of Natasha Denona. I remember when Viseart started to become a thing on YouTube, people were like, I have all these $80 Viseart palettes. And I wanted to be like, I want to have all the $80 Viseart palettes. Now, I do have some of them. I do absolutely love them, but out of all of them, this one really, it just stands head and shoulders above a majority of my other palettes. I have never used this and not enjoyed the look that I've gotten out of it. I have never had a bad experience with blending, pigmentation, fallout. This is, I feel, as close to colorful eyeshadow formulation perfection as I have gotten on my channel in my makeup collection. And then on the more practical side of things, this is the first one, not necessarily as color story wise on camera. Those are looking, wow, that looks like one giant shade of white. They are a bit more saturated on camera. What I invested in this one because I decluttered my Lorac Pro 1 and my Lorac Pro 2, which had a lot of these shades, which are really good as just everyday eyeshadows, but also as sort of a special effects. This is really good for doing vampires, zombie, a lot of undead with these beautiful purpley cool gray tones, as well as having a beautiful depth of gradation over here and here. This purple is absolutely stunning. I adore these two shades here. This one, these ones here. It just has a wide variety of shades that I feel are conducive to being a very good, this is a palette that I would be all like, oh, a makeup artist should get it, back when I thought I knew what that meant. But for me as a consumer, again, this one is just a nice practical one to have that I can take with me. I can take this one and that one and be good on eyeshadow, whether I want to do a cool whatever look, I want to do something neutral, add some color. These, this little thing right here absolutely does it for me. I love the deep blue, some of the best grays and blacks that I have ever used on my eyelids. I just cannot advocate enough for these palettes. And I went in with these expensive things, I go in wanting to tear them a new one. I'm like, there's no way it's worth the price point. And the majority of times, super expensive things aren't worth the price point. But when it comes to these giant Viseart palettes, they are expensive. They are an investment, but they are absolutely beautiful. The experience I get with using these makes it worth every penny to me. Then another eyeshadow that I feel like isn't necessarily uber expensive on its own, but when you add it up, it does tend to, it stacks, it gets expensive. But these are the Give Me Glow Build Your Own palettes. I used to be all like, I would never buy singles and put them in a Z palette. I like pre-done palettes, you know, and now I'm just like, I think that these kind of palettes and being able to choose your own shades is honestly a wave of the future, because you can take it and curate it to your own personal taste and get exactly what you want. Give Me Glow has some of my favorite shimmer formulas. Just all of these do nothing but bring me joy. Obviously, I have a wide spectrum of them here. I think that doing a investment like this in going in and getting those shades is really worth it, because like I said, you get what you want. You go in, they have a multitude of shades. You're getting a crap ton of product in here. This is my other one going on here. I love all the greens, the purples. These ones are good. This is also one that I got. Another thing I love about Give Me Glow is if you use them correctly, they are fairly heckin' pigmented with Give Me Glow. You want to start little. They're gonna go all kinds of, but you can take this and use a lot of these shades for contouring, for blush. The pan is large enough that it is multi-usable. I have used some of these purples in doing, especially this one, in doing that undead sallow look. Absolutely stunning shimmers. I love their mattes. They are a beautiful, amazing formula. When Give Me Glow does it right, they do it right. And one of my favorite end-all be-all eyeshadow formulations. I used to be very, like I said, very just against going in and curating your own palettes, and now I have these, as well as I think 2 ColourPop ones as well. Although I would say that this is a better investment than ColourPop. I do love ColourPop. I love the majority of their eyeshadow form. When ColourPop does it good, they do it good. But when they don't do it good, they do it bad. Unless that's more in your price point. again, I am not trying to be all like, this is the only thing you need and it's the expensive option. I love my ColourPop ones too, but I feel pound for pound doing the Give Me Glow is just, you're supporting small business, you're getting a crap ton of product. They have all kinds of shades. They have an immaculate shimmer formula. The majority of their matte formulations are amazing. This was one of my, I did the ColourPop first and then I did these. One of the best things I've ever done for myself. Again, I love just taking these with me. I can take both of these with me. That's all the eyeshadow I need for traveling. I've got my brights, I've got my neutrals, a wide variety of shimmers. I feel like for a lot of the single eyeshadow curate your own palette systems, Give Me Glow is really good. I would love to try Lethal Cosmetics and everything like that. But for my experience and what I've used, I would highly, highly recommend in investing in one of these build your own palettes. You don't need two. You get a lot in just one. You don't have to go balls to the wall and be super excessive like I do. But absolutely beyond happy with these and am just so glad to have them in my collection on a whole. Then last for bougie overpriced eyeshadow palettes that I advocate for are actually these ones from Natasha Denona. For those of you who know, you know that I am a very strong believer in her $65 palettes. I have one of her $129 palettes, and compared to these, it is a far cry from quality and just everything else compared to these for less money. I will leave reviews for all of these down below. I picked these 4. She's got like 6, 7 out now. I did review the Zendo and the retro one, I believe. I will leave that down below if you want to look at that review. I feel like these 4 though are like 4 of the heavy hitters from the $65 palette she has. And starting off, my 2 favorites, we have the Love palette right here. We have the Sunrise palette right here. Just absolutely beautiful. The formulation of these, I don't understand why she can't take whatever this is and apply it to every other eyeshadow that she does, because the $129 palette that I bought and reviewed was not this quality and it was a lot more expensive. So I don't know who's deciding what in there, but these are just such good, solid palettes. They have quality, they have got a nice color story, they have a nice shimmer to matte ratio. Even the ones, the bronze and the glam one, which we'll look at in a minute, has a higher shimmer to matte ratio. But if I'm gonna get a palette that has a higher shimmer to matte ratio, I want them to be formulated like the Natasha Denona $65 palette shimmers. Some of the best shimmers I have ever used. Again, like I said, the quality on these, I would say, because the majority of eyeshadow palettes were like $40 is like the whatever, these are $65. I would recommend these 110 times percent more than Too Faced or Urban Decay or Lorac or a majority of the mainstream makeup brands eyeshadow palettes that you can get at Sephora or Ulta. If you're gonna go in on a palette, I feel like go in, spend a little bit more and really get some amazing quality with these. I don't stand by all of her products. Again, I have learned with companies and with expensive things, there are some things that I strongly advocate for and absolutely love, and there are others that are absolute trash. This one of my absolute favorites. I honestly need to pull these out. I mean, these shimmers right here, just absolutely gorgeous, beautifully formulated, amazing. Just, I mean, that one, you're not going to be able to see. It's got all those reflections in it. Then if you're wanting something more neutral, we've got your cool tone neutrals here. More shimmers than mattes, and I honestly couldn't care because they're so good. The shimmers are simply phenomenal. And then we have the bronze, which again, I don't skew neutral. I like something a bit more intense, but absolutely gorgeous, immaculately formulated. This shade Bliss, oh my goodness, I have used it on my lids. I have topped it over lipstick. And then we have this shade Alloy right here. Just everything good that I could possibly say, I would say these. If I'm ever recommending anyone to buy a Natasha Denona palette, it's gonna be one of these. Also, if you're looking for something that's like the more mature, the more elevated, the less crazy version of Jeffree Star Blood Sugar, I say that this is a absolutely great alternative. I'm actually going to be doing a video, update video, talking about palettes, alternative palettes to the Jeffree Star palettes. But like I said, these are phenomenal. I have not had one that I have not enjoyed the quality on. The Zendo and the Retro are a little bit less out of my wheelhouse. I probably got a little too caught up in wanting to get those and review them, but I absolutely stand by the quality of each and every single $65 palette by her that I have tried. So I would say go in, whatever your color preference is. I have not had an issue with any of the ones that I've tried, and I think are a good solid investment from this particular brand. Then if we're talking Natasha Denona, we might as well talk Natasha Denona. These are her face palettes. I'm not sure. I think this one might be limited edition. We'll start with the Bloom Blush and Glow palette. Y'all know I am not a cream blush person, although I may be more now that I'm doing less on my face, less foundation. But in the start of my channel and when I purchased these palettes, I was not a cream blush person. These are, again, I'm not a cream blush person, but if I'm gonna have a cream blush, I want it to be formulated like this. All of these face palettes, this one here, the Bloom one, then this is the Love one, they are just beautiful to use. Her complexion products are something that I absolutely love. I have a butt ton of her blushes. I absolutely love her highlighters, but I feel like for bang for your buck, if you're gonna go in on one of these, for me, again, I will take these with me. I'll take like 2 of these and be like, that's all the blush and highlighter I need. They look so nice on the skin. They give your complexion just this really beautiful, radiant finish. It really is a your skin but better type formulation. This one is the tan. If you're looking for something that you're gonna wanna do contouring and shimmy shiny, I adore this shade. If I ever do any kind of contouring or any kind of sculpting, I use this shade right here. Love this powder. I love this one. This is a glow cream base that I actually kind of tap on and smooth on if I'm using a more neutrally blush that skews in these tones. Looks absolutely stunning. I think these are like 48 or something. Again, definitely on that super higher price point, but these are products that I have got my money's worth out of. With the blush, a little bit goes this one right here. Oh my goodness, you just went just a kiss, just a touch, and then a little bit goes a very long way. It really gives you just that natural, healthy, flush, dewy, and glistening gloriousness, which is something as someone with dry skin, I live for a product that will give me an element of hydration. But I just absolutely love these. Some of my favorite blush palettes, one of my favorite like contour whatever palettes. I honestly need to declutter all of that shiz again because I have what I use, I like what I use, and I use what I like. But if you're thinking about investing money in a blush palette, I would highly recommend any one of these from her. I would love it, although financially I wouldn't love it. But if she were to be like, I like this formula, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna give you a purple and I'm gonna give you a neutral and I'm gonna give you a coral and a whatever, and I'd be like, shut up and take my money. Although the last thing I need is another blush palette because I have these and this is enough blush for anyone, especially with the cream formation that only takes like this much to get opacity. But an expensive face product that I do absolutely think is worth the money, especially coming from someone who, when I bought these, was not a cream blush person. This completely changed my mind on the game, and just, again, if it's gonna be a cream blush formula, this is what I want it to be formulated like. Next up in blush, this is a formulation must-have. If you are someone who likes blush, if you are someone who really appreciates an immaculately formulated blush formula, you have to look into investing in the Patrick Ta blushes. I'm not sure what possessed me to buy these when they came out, probably just because they were new and I heard everyone talking about them and everybody loved them, so I was like, I need to get them. These blushes are just an absolute dream to work with. This one here is in She's Adorable. He created split pan, part cream, part powder. I didn't get any of those because cream and powder, and I just didn't think I would get nearly as much use out of them as these. And these are a formulation that works for your skin and for your complexion, not against it. They are just so smooth, so beautiful on the skin. This is something that, looking for a shade like that. I think I just got one from ColourPop that was similar to that. This is why I need to shop my makeup collection. But these are a formula that I would say that a makeup artist would use. These are perfect for every day. They would be a beautiful, beautiful formula to do bridal makeup, prom makeup. They are just an absolutely stunning product. The shades are all fairly unassuming, fairly simple, fairly light, but the life they give to your cheeks and the beautiful just gorgeousness that they do for your complexion should not go unnoted. We've got this one right here. They're, like I said, they're all just a little something. This isn't Melt Cosmetics. This isn't Urban Decay. This is, these are nice, everyday, wearable lady blushes. I actually am thinking about getting one of these for my girlfriend's mom because she is a very, very classy, very sophisticated lady, and I think she would really enjoy the formulation of these. They are just so good. If he had more, I've been waiting when he released the cream and powder ones. I was like, yay, oh, because I wanted more of these, and it's probably better that he didn't release more of these because then I would have bought these. And high-end blush is not cheap. But if you are wanting to invest in an immaculate blush formula, cannot speak highly enough about these. They're just so well done. I love these. I love those lip gloss whatever. What I have tried from Patrick Ta, which is only 2 things, I have absolutely loved. And this is one of my favorite end all be all blush formulas that, again, if you like blush, if you're interested in investing in something that's very unassuming, very simple, very everyday, but just better, really giving you a zhuzh to your complexion, these are completely worth the investment. You could get all 4 of these and then be good for blush for the rest of your life, and your complexion will be absolutely immaculate. And now if we're talking about an immaculate complexion, y'all know I love skincare. I probably love trying and finding new amazing skincare more than makeup. There's just something in finding that cleanser or that exfoliator, toner, eye thing that just, when you can take your complexion to the next level, your makeup will be on the next level. Like I like to say, if you want to live the beat life, you gotta live the skincare life. And I try very, very hard not to recommend super overpriced skincare because the gouging on price point on skincare it's a whole thing. I could probably do an entire video on that. Let me know if you'd like to see that down below. The truths and non-truths of skincare. However, when I do find something, I do like to talk about it. And these are 2 products from Tatcha, which is a company I feel gets a super amount of hype where some of its products aren't necessarily worth that or the price point. These are 2 things that are tried and trues in my skincare collection that I just absolutely love. First of which being the Tatcha the Rice Polish Deep. This is a backup. I have one that I'm currently using, but I like to have the backup. This is that granular powder to foamy something. I used the regular one of this, was not as much of a fan for my skin type, but this deep one, I have gone back to using this and my face is clean and fresh. My redness is down, my texture is down, my skin is starting to go back into that wonderful place where it was when I first started using this. didn't have it in me to buy. I think this is like $58. Although this does last me like 6 months. So when it comes to overpriced, bougie, expensive skincare, I do like to think about how much, how long is it gonna last? Because if there's one thing that I always forget how long it takes to use up, it's skincare. You're like, come on, I want to use a new something. It's like, no, you're gonna use me for 12 months. I absolutely love this. One of my absolute favorite cleansers. It's probably in my top 3 favorite cleansers. My skin reacts well to these like powdery enzyme ones, and then like a more gel-based one, like the Good Molecules, I believe, Rosewater Jelly Cleanser. I really like that. When I'm super on top of my skincare game, I'll do the jelly one, and then I'll do one of these, and I'm fresh faced. It is a very expensive investment, and like I said, not all Tatcha skincare and not all overpriced bougie skincare is necessarily worth it. When you're researching skincare, it comes down to ingredients and quality and grade and everything like that. Just because it's in a fancy packaging and it's bougie and aesthetic doesn't necessarily mean it's the best thing for your skin. But after a wide amount of trial and error, I do keep coming back to this, and it's just one that has worked super well for me. And another Tatcha that has worked super well for me, this isn't a backup. Well, it is a backup. I'm working on one moisturizer because I don't like having multiples of things open. I'm going to use every drop of this up before I open something else. But this is the Tatcha the Dewy Skin Cream. I tried the water cream. Not worth it for my skin tone, my skin type. Whereas this, as a nighttime moisturizer, I'll have a thinner, more like a gel-based one during the day, a lighter one. And then at night, after I do my whole routine and I slap this on, my face is plump and radiant and dewy and healthy, and I am ready for my Maybe It's Maybelline commercial. Again, this is something I tried probably because YouTube was like, everybody loves it, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna love it too. And again, I went in being all like, well, how good can it be? Because it's really expensive. This is, though, a product that a little bit, the first one of these I had, I was like, this is amazing. And then for like the last 2 months, I was like, are we really? Can we hurry this up a little bit? Because a little bit of this goes a very long way. Just a light little tap and you smooth it over. If you have dry skin and you are wanting something that is going to really plump from within and give you that surge of healthy hydration to your complexion, I highly recommend this. If this is not in your price point, there is one by, oh my goodness. This is the Bliss Explosion Super Rich Moisturizer for Dewy Radiant Skin. Are we in focus? Thank you. I think I got mine at Walmart. I don't know if you can still get it at Walmart, but it's at Target. I have tried a lot of products from this brand, and they are on that like low to mid drugstore point, and a lot of their stuff is really good, and this is one of them. And this is the closest thing I have ever found, and I've been looking, I've been searching, the closest dupe I have ever found to the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. So if you're not wanting to go in and like immediately go in on that, you want to test a similar formula, I would highly recommend this. I actually felt very vindicated because on TikTok, I don't know if they were a dermatologist, but a skincare person was all like, this is the same as this, and it was the Tatcha Dewy one, and I was like, I knew it, because I had in my brain, I was like, this is really similar. Unfortunately, I'm afraid this might be breaking me out. I have to use it a little bit more again to see, because hopefully not, because having a less expensive alternative, I really like having that option to recommend to you all, because like I said, makeup and skincare and everything is luxury and expensive even when it's affordable. But this is one of those products that I have in my like super expensive ultimate, like if I were to do a skincare routine of all the expensive products that I love, this is absolutely one of them. I do like having it on backup because it's a product I can go back to, that I can rely on for consistent results, that makes my complexion better than when I don't use it. Like I said, typically I don't like, advocating for the super expensive, but these are just products that after purchasing and using and having in my collection have just really been worth that financial investment in the long run and have really just added a good amount of quality to my makeup and my skincare game and routine. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that video. I would love to hear what y'all have to say about these products. If you agree with me, don't agree with me, let me know down below a super expensive product that you found to be like, yes, this is absolutely worth it. I mean, let's get real. Like, any kind of palette is like a super expensive palette. I've got to the point where if it's like above $35, I'm like, do I really need it? You know, because like a bare minimum is like $45. Since my joining the beauty sphere, prices have just gone up and up and up and up over the years. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. And as always, keep it real. Mwah!